What's up, everybody? It's your boy D. Culiante, and we're back at it with a whole new video. Alright, so today we're going to be diving into the book Will, written by Will Smith. I have the hard copy right here. Boom, check it out. Boom, boom. I love how colorful this book is, man. It really kind of shows how his personality is, and just with all the colors and the scheme of the book. So I really like that. So we're gonna kind of dive in. What we're gonna be doing is gonna be kind of breaking down each chapter, just keeping it fun, keeping it light, but just giving my take on each chapter. And I want to bring y'all along on the journey. All right, that sound cool? All right, bet. Let's get started. So the first chapter is the prologue, and it's called The Wall. So in this prologue, you get to get to know Will Smith and why he works so hard. So I'm a big fan of Will Smith, and one of the things that he's known for is talking about working hard and taking a task and really not worried about how long a task would take. He uses the example of the brick wall. So he says, instead of worrying about how long it would take to create a wall, just focus on putting a brick down, brick by brick, and just making sure that brick is lined up perfectly. And that's what he does. He kind of introduces that that whole concept, and he kind of breaks it down and kind of lets you know the backstory of where that came from. So that's what I really enjoy. So he talks about how his dad had given him and his little brother a task of building this wall, and this wall took months. You know what I'm saying? They talk about they had to work on holidays, cold weather, hot weather, anything like that. They was out there working on this wall, and they talked about how the wall was. Let me see. I highlighted some of this stuff because it just had me just kind of shocked. He talked about how the wall was 7 feet. He says roughly 12 feet long by 20 feet long. So this wall was just huge. So just talk about how like intimidating this whole thing was, that his dad had him and his brother doing. And basically, you know, they talked about how like they just felt like it was unfair, you know. And they instead of playing in the summertime, they was working on the wall. Instead of coming home, you know, relaxing, playing outside, they was working on the wall. I just thought it was interesting. I think Will Smith, you really hear Will Smith's tone in this story. So he goes and talks about how it was a point in the process where him and his brother was just fed up. They like, yo, dad. They called him Daddy-O. It's like, Daddy-O, like, this is just too much. This is not gonna get done. Like, why do you have us working so hard? You know? And basically the dad was like, hey, listen, I need you to not focus on the wall, but I need you to focus on you laying that brick down perfectly. Lay it down perfectly. And Will Smith's dad sounds very militant in this kind of introduction. So and he said, Will Smith talks about how at that point it clicked for him. Right? He was like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. I need to just focus on the brick itself. All right, so that's what he does. And eventually the wall is done. And Will Smith and his little brother wasn't sure on like if there was going to be more wall to do, or like was this just the first task. But he talks about how like when he was done, like his dad was just told him, listen, don't ever let nothing stop you, right? Don't ever let nothing get in your way. And he just smokes his cigarettes and walks off. And I'm like, yo, that's kind of cool. That's a tough lesson to learn, but it's kind of cool to, I guess, you know what I'm saying, be done with the wall, but also to know that it was just used as kind of a metaphor in a way. And Will Smith uses this metaphor, this principle, like all through his career. And like, if you are any of a Will Smith fan like I am, like anytime he talks, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to motivate people, he always refers to the wall and like how it's so important to focus on a brick and not the wall itself. So to kind of know, I like how Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, introduces his whole mentality first to the audience. You know, he's just like, listen, this is kind of the core of who I am. And he kind of just builds off that. So, you know what I'm saying, the first chapter is called The Wall. And it was good. It was good. You can really hear Will Smith's voice in this chapter. And like, he talks about just being like an artist and just how everything, all his accomplishments, like really pushed him because he went through this as a kid. So that was kind of like my take on it. And I'm excited to see what the next chapter holds. So stay tuned. If you got the book, you know what I'm saying, drop it in the comments, yo, and let me know what your thoughts was on that chapter. And we're just gonna keep this party going. We're gonna move on to chapter 1, the official chapter 1. So stay tuned, stay locked in, like, subscribe, and we be right back. Peace.